buddies are local people who live in Hastings, and they're people who want to get involved with supporting refugees who are arriving in the Hastings area. I have a personal story. I myself was a refugee child who arrived here at the age of 9 years old with my family, seeking refuge from the Pinochet era in Chile. I remember as a child, they're very chaotic. I didn't really know what was going on. I remember just having to pick up and leave places really quickly. I actually have stronger memories of the people who were good to us, the people who, lent us a hand, the people who gave us a knowing, sort of friendly smile, who empathised with what was happening to us. And my understanding about the life of somebody who's had to leave the country, leave everything behind, and escape with literally what they've got, just what they've got on sometimes, and their children, is I understand that they're coming from chaos. There's a lot of fear. Wherever it is they're coming from, they've had a horrific experience, and they've had to leave everything behind. The Syrian families are escaping from horrific situations to come to somewhere safe, just to lead a normal life.
There's a proverb that talks about speak up for those who can't speak for themselves, and I think particularly with the buddy scheme, as refugees have come to this country and they don't speak the language, it's been good to get alongside them. And Dave is an ESOL teacher. We've learnt a lot about their culture, and as we initially thought we would help them and teach them about our culture, but actually we've learnt a lot about theirs.
We can watch things happen on the TV and we can feel tremendous sympathy for people displaced and so on, but somehow you think if there's something practical and real that you can do, it just means instead of just sympathising, you can actually take some concrete steps to do something about it.
I learned a lesson very early when my first marriage broke up and I was feeling very depressed, and my mother suggested I work for a soup kitchen in Brighton, that's where I was living at the time, and it made me realise that when you help other people you do an awful lot for yourself, and more than that, people who realise that they're getting something back make much better helpers, if you like, because they can do it without being patronising, they can do it on an equal basis, and really enjoy the experience, and I think that experience comes across to the people that you're helping.
Well, once a week I teach the father in the family English. He's an older gentleman, and so he's finding it quite difficult learning, but he's doing really well, and he's working so hard at it. So I do that once a week, and then in the holidays we tend to meet up, my husband and I and the whole family will meet up together. Well, I guess hospitality is important to me. I worked abroad for quite a few years in my 40s, and so I know what it's like being a stranger in a strange land, and how much I appreciated the way people help me find my way around and be hospitable to me. So when I heard about the Syrian Refugee Project here, I thought, that's brilliant. I really want to welcome them to Hastings.
Last year we had a family who were refugees, who came to the hospice, and it was a real eye-opening moment for us all about how difficult it was. Bad enough having a terminal diagnosis, let alone be unsure of your status in the country, and it touched us all. And I was just getting perturbed by a lot of the dialogue within the media, the negative dialogue, and it upset me a lot. And I've got 3 children, and I wanted to be able to show them a positive example of how things could be. And one of the most amazing things is it's so welcome with this Buddy Project, because you're able to attend social events. And one of the most heartwarming moments was Rossana organised a party a couple of weeks ago, and it was with Syrian children and my children, and they're all excited and energetic and messing around and eating food. And that is important. One of the most important things is for the children growing up to have those memories and understand that, you know, everyone is the same underneath. They all like to run around, they all like to do the same things, they've all got their own stories. So, but that was what the most amazing thing was, just to be able to, you could be that one person to make someone feel at home, because it's really difficult to leave the home where you have grown up in, where everything's familiar to you, and then just to come and to be the welcoming face and to make a difference to people, that make them feel at home.
There is a drive to try and create a hostile environment for refugees, for people coming to this country from other places who are seeking refuge. And I think what this project is doing is actually saying, we don't agree with that. We welcome all refugees. We welcome everybody that needs help, and it's a project that's essentially offering a hand of friendship to anybody who needs help, including the refugees, and saying, you know, you're welcome. We're not going to create a hostile environment. We welcome you, and Hastings is actually leading the way in creating that safe environment for refugees, I would say, in the whole of the UK.
بالساحة تلاقينا بالساحة ليها جوز عيون شو دباحة قامي يخزي العين والخدين تفاحة بتغار